What here shall miss, our toil shall strive to mend.
Gregory, on my word, will not carry coals.
No, for then we should be colliers. Ow!
I mean, and we being collar, will draw.
Aye, while you live, draw your neck out of collar.
I strike quickly, being moved.
But thou art not quickly moved to strike.
A dog of the house of Montague moves me.
To move is to stir, and to be valiant is to stand. Therefore, if thou art moved, thou runst away.
A dog of that house shall move me to stand. I will take the wall of any man or maid of Montague's.
That shows thee a weak slave, for the weakest goes to the wall.
'Tis true, therefore women being the weaker vessel are ever thrust to the wall. Therefore I will push Montague's men from the wall and thrust his maids to the wall.
Oh, the quarrels between our masters and us their men.
'Tis all one. I will show myself a tyrant, and when I have fought with the men, I will be civil. With the maids, I will cut off their heads.
The heads of the maids?
Aye, the heads of the maids, or their maiden heads. Take it in what sense thou wilt.
They must take it in sense that feel it.
Me they shall feel when I'm able to stand, and 'tis known I am a pretty piece of flesh.
'Tis well, thou art not fish. If thou hast been poor John. Draw thy tool. Here comes the house of Montague.
My naked weapon is out. Quarrel. I will back thee.
Oh, how? Turn thy back and run?
Fear me not.
No, Mary, I fear thee.
Let us take the law of our sides. Let them begin.
Oh, I will frown as they pass by, and let them take it as they list.
Nay, as they dare, I will bite my thumb at them, which is a disgrace to them if they bear it.
Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
I do bite my thumb, sir.
Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
Is the law on our side if I say I?
No.
No, sir, I do not bite my thumb at you, sir, but I do bite my thumb, sir.
Do you quarrel, sir?
No, sir.
But if you do, I am for you. I serve as good a man as you.
No better?
Well, sir?
Say, better. Here comes one of my master's kinsmen.
Yes, better, sir.
You lie.
Draw it, you man. Yeah. Gregory, remember thy washing glove.
Turn thee, Benvolio. Look upon thy death.
I do keep peace. Either put up thy sword or manage to part these men with me.
Peace? What? Drawn and talk of peace. I hate them. Because I hate hell.
Oh, Montagues!
And thee. Have back thee, coward.
Old Capulet and Montague have thrice disturbed the quiet of our streets and made Verona's ancient citizens cast by their grave beseeming ornaments to wield old bartered our streets again, your lives shall pay the forfeit of the peace. For this time, all the rest depart away. You, Capulet, shall go along with me. And Montague, come you this afternoon to know our farther pleasure in this case, to old Freetown, our common judgment place. Once more, on pain of death, all men depart!
Who set this ancient quarrel no approach? Speak, nephew! Were you by when it began?
Here were the servants of your adversary, and yours close fighting ere I did approach. I drew to part them. In the instant came the fiery Tybalt, with his sword prepared, which, as he breathed defiance to my ears, he swung about his head and cut the winds, who, nothing heard withal, hissed him in scorn. As we interchanged our thrusts and blows, came more and more, and fought on part and part, until the prince came who parted either part.
But where is Romeo? Saw you came today? Right glad I am he was not at this fray.
Oh, madam, an hour before the worshipped sun peered forth the golden window of the east, a troubled mind drove me to walk abroad, where underneath the grove of sycamore that westward rooteth this city's side, so early walking did I see your son.
Many a morning hath he there been seen, with tears augmenting the fresh morning's dew, adding to clouds, more clouds with his deep sighs. Black and portentous must this humor prove, unless a noble cause can you remove.
My noble uncle, do you know the cause?
I neither know of it nor can learn it.
Have you importuned it by any means?
Both by myself and many other friends. But he is his own affection's counselor, I will not say how true. Could we but learn from whence his sorrows go, we would willingly give cure as no.
See, where he comes. So please you step aside. I'll know his grievance or be much denied.
I would thou wert so happy by that stay, to hear true shrift. Come, madam, let's away.
Good morrow, coz.
The day so young.
But new struck night.
Ay me, sad hours seem long. Was that my father that had so fast?
It was. Oh, what sadness led these Romeo's hours?
Not having that which having makes them short.
In love?
Out.
Of love?
Out of her favor where I am in love.
Alas, that love so gentle in his view should be so rough and tyrannous in proof.
Alas, that love whose view is bubbled still should without eye see pathways to his will. Where shall we dine? Oh me, what bray was here? Yet tell me not, for I've heard it all. Here's what to do with hate, but more with love. Why then? O brawling love, O loving hate, O anything of nothing first create, O heavy likeness, serious vanity, misshapen chaos of well-seeming forms, feather of lead, bright smoke, cold fire, sick health, still waking sleep. That is not what it is. This love feel I, that feel no love in this. Dost thou not laugh?
No, cuz, I rather weep.
Good heart at what?
That's like good heart's oppression.
Why, such as love's transgressions, griefs of mine own lie heavy in my breast, which thou wilt propagate to have it pressed to more of thine. Love is a smoke raised with fumes of sighs, being purged, a fire, sparkling lover's eyes, being vexed, a sea nursed with loving tears. What is it else? A madness most discreet, a choking gall, and a preserving sweet. Farewell, my cuz.
What's up? I will go along, and if you leave me so, you do me wrong.
Tut, I have lost myself. I am not here. This is not Romeo, for he is some other where.
Tell me in sadness, who is it that you love?
In sadness, cousin, you love a woman.
I aim so near when I supposed you loved.
A right good marksman. She's fair, I love.
Right fair mark, fair cuz, as soon as hit.
And in that hit, you miss. She will not be hit with Cupid's arrow. She has Diane's wit, and in strong proof of chastity, well armed with love's sweet childish bow, she lives uncharmed.
Then she hath sworn she was still a chaste.
She hath, and in that spirit makes huge waste. She hath forsworn the love, and in that vow do I live dead that live to tell it now.
Being ruled by me. Forget to think of her.
Oh, teach me how to forget to think.
By giving liberty unto thine eyes, examine other, beauties.
He that is stricken blind cannot forget the precious treasure of his eyesight lost. Show me an issue who is passing fair. What doth her beauty serve but as a note where I may read who passed that passing fair? Farewell, thou canst not teach me to forget.
I'll pay that doctrine or else die in debt.
But Montague is bound as well as I in penalty alike, and 'tis not so hard, I think, for men as old as we to keep the peace.
Of honorable reckoning are you both. And pity 'tis you've been at odds so long, but now, my lord, what say you to my suit?
I say more what I had said before. My child is yet a stranger in this world. She had not seen the change of 14 years. Let 2 more summers wither in their pride, ere we may think her to be a right bride.
Younger than she, our happy mothers may.
And too soon marred are those so early days. Earth has swallowed all my hopes, but she's the hopeful lady of my earth. But woo her, gentle Paris, get her heart. My will to her consent is but a part. Come, go with me. At my poor house tonight, look to behold earth-treading stars that make the dark heavens light. Sirrah! Go, trudge about through fair Verona, find those out whose names are written there, and to them say my house, and welcome on their pleasure stay.
Oh, find them out whose names are written here? Oh, it is written that the shoemaker should meddle with his yard, and the tailor with his last, the fisher with his pencil, and the painter with his nets. Oh, but I am sent to find out those persons whose names are here writ, and can never find what names the writing person hath here writ. Oh, I must learn it.
Tut, man, one fire burns out another's burning, one pain is necessary another's language. Turn giddy, and beheld my backward turning. One desperate grief is cured with another's language. Take thou some new infection to thy eye, and the rank poison of the old will die.
Oh, your plantain leaf is excellent for that.
For what, I pray thee?
For your broken shin.
Why, Romeo, art thou mad?
Not mad, but bound more than a madman is. Shut up in prison, kept without his food, whipped and tormented, and... Good evening, good fellow.
God give good evening. I pray, sir, can you read?
Mine own fortune is my misery.
Perhaps you've learned it without book. But I pray, sir, can you read anything you see?
Aye, if I know the letters and the language.
Ye say honestly. Rest ye merry.
Stay, fellow, I can read. Signor Martino and his wife and daughters, County Ensom and his beauteous sisters, the Lady Widow Vitruvio, Signor Palencio and his lovely nieces, Mercutio and his brother Valentine, mine uncle Capulet, his wife and daughters, my fair niece Rosaline, and Livia, Signor Valencio and his cousin Tybalt, Lucio and the lively Helena. A fair assembly. Whither should they come?
Up
Whither to supper?
to our house.
Whose house?
My master.
Indeed, I should have asked thee that before.
Oh, now I'll tell you without asking. My master is the great, rich Capulet. And if you not be of the house of Montagues, I pray, come and crush a cup of wine. Oh, rest ye merry.
At this same ancient feast of Capulet sups the fair Rosaline, if thou so loves it, all the admired beauties of Verona. Go thither, and with unattainted eye compare her face with some that I shall show, and I will make thee think thy swan a crow.
One fairer than my love, the all-seeing sun ne'er saw her match since first the world begun.
Tut, man, you saw her fair, none else being by, herself poised with herself in either eye. But in those crystal scales let there be weighed your lady's love against another maid that I will show you shining at the feast. And thou shalt sketch her well, because now shows best.
I'll go along, no such sight to be shown, but to rejoice in splendor of mine own.
Nurse, where is my daughter? Call her forth to me. Now, by my maidhood at 12-year-old, I bade her come. What lamb? What ladybird? God forbid, where's this girl? What Juliet?
How now, who calls?
Your mother.
Madam, I am here. What is your will?
This is the matter. Nurse, give me a while. We must talk in secret. Nurse, come back again. I have remembered me. Thou see our counsel.
Thou knowest my daughter is of a pretty age.
Faith, I can tell her age into an hour.
She's not 14.
I'll lay 14 in my teeth, and yet to my teen be it spoken I have but 4. She's not 14. How long is it now till Lammas-tide?
Fortnight and odd days.
Ah, even or odd of all the days of the year. Come Lammas Eve at night shall she be 14. Susan and she, God rest all Christian souls, were of an age. Well, Susan is with God. Oh, she was too good for me. But, as I said, on Lammas Eve at night shall she be 14. That shall she marry, I remember it well. Just since the earthquake now 11 years, and she was weaned. I never shall forget it. Because of all the days of the year, upon that day, I had then laid wormwood to my dove, sitting in the sun, under the dove house wall. My lord and you were then at Mantua. Nay, I do bear a brain. But, as I said, when it did taste the wormwood on the nipple of my dove, and felt it
bitter pretty fool, to see it tipsy and fall out with the dove. Shake, quoth the dove house. 'Twas no need I told a bid retread, and since that time it is 11 years. For then she could stand alone. Nay, by the rood, she could have run and walked all about. For even the day before she broke her brow. And then my husband, God be with his soul, he was a merry man, took up the child. Hey, quoth he, dost thou fallest upon thy face? Thou wilt fall backward when thou hast more wit. Wilt thou not, Jewel? And by my holy dame, the pretty wench left crying and said, "I." To see now how it just shall come about, and I warn I shall live 1,000 years, I never shall forget it. Wilt thou not do what he? And pretty fool it stinted and said, "I."
Enough of this, I pray thee, hold thy peace.
Yes, madam.
Then sit down, true, I pray thee, nurse, say I.
Peace I have done. Thou wert the prettiest babe that e'er I nursed, and I might live to see thee married once. I have my wish.
Mary! That Mary is the very theme I came to talk of. Tell me, Dr. Juliet, how stands your disposition to be married? It is an honor that I hear not of.
An honor? Were not I thine only nurse, I would say thou sucked wisdom from my chit.
Well, think on marriage now. Younger than you, here in Verona, ladies of esteem are made already mothers. By my count, I was your mother much upon these years that you are now a maid. Thus then in brief, the valiant Paris seeks you for his love.
Oh, man, young lady, lady such a man, has all the world white. He's a man of wax.
Verona's summer hath not such a flower.
Nay, a flower, in faith, a very flower.
What say you? Can you love the gentleman? Tonight you shall behold him at our feast. Read o'er the volume of young Paris' face and find delight writ there with beauty's pen. Examine every merry lineament and see how one another lends content. And what obscured in that fair volume lies, find written in the margin of his eyes. This precious book of love, this unbound lover. To beautify him only lacks a cover. The fish lives in the sea, and 'tis much pride for fair without the fair within to hide. That book in many's eyes doth share the glory that in gold clasps locks in the golden story. So shall you share all that he doth possess in having him making yourself no less.
No less, a bigger women grow by men.
Speak briefly. Can you like a parasol? I'll look to like if looking like he move. But no more deep will I dart mine eye than your consent to give strength to make it fly. The guests are come, supper served, you cold. Oh. My young lady, asked for. Oh. The nurse, cursed of envy. And everything else in extremity. I must hence await. I beseech you, follow so great. Oh. We follow thee. Juliet, the countess stays.
Go, girl, seek happy nights to happy days.
What? Shall the speech be spoken for our excuse, or shall we go on without apology?
The days are certainly sad, but let them measure us by what they will measure them for measure. Thank God.
Give me a torch. I am not for this ambling. Being but heavy, I will bear the light.
Nay, gentle Romeo, we must have you dead.
I believe you. You have dancing shoes with nimble soles. I have a soul of lead, so stake me to the ground. I cannot move.
You are a lover. Borrow Cupid's wings and soar into the common cloud.
I am too sore and pierced with this shaft to soar on light feathers, and so bound I cannot bound the pitch above dull woe. Under love-heavy burdens do I sink.
And to sink in it should you burthen love. Too great depression for such a tender thing.
Is love a tender thing? It is too rough, too rude, too boisterous, and it pricks like thorn.
If love be rough with you, be rough with love. Prick love for prick. Give me a case to put my visage in. A visor for a visor. What care I? What curious eye doth code deformities? Here are the beetle brows.
Come, knock and enter, and no sooner in but every man and take him to his legs.
Torture me. Let wanton by the particular senses rushes with their heels. For I am proverb with the grandsire phrase. I'll be a candle holder and look on. The game was ne'er so fair, and I am done.
Oh, time's done's the House, the constable's own word. If thou art done, we'll draw thee from blood, or save your reference love. When thou sticks up to the ears, come, we burn daylight, oh!
Hey, that's not so!
I mean, sir, in delay, we waste our lights in vain, like lights by day. Take our good meaning, for our judgments is 5 times in that air once, in our fine wits.
We be well in going to this mass, but 'tis no way to go.
And why, may one ask?
I dreamt a dream tonight.
And so did I.
Well, what was yours?
That dreamers often lie.
You better sleep on it. You dream things true.
Oh. Did I see Queen Mab hath been with you?
Queen Mab, what's she?
She is the fairy's midwife, and she comes in a shape no bigger than an agate stone on the forefinger of an alderman, drawn with a team of little atomies over men's noses as they lie asleep. Her wagon spokes, made of long, spider's legs, the cover of the wings of grasshoppers. Her traces of the smallest spider's web, her collars of the moonshine's watery beam. Her whip of cricket balls, a lash of film, her wagon, a small green-coated ass, not half so big as a round little worm, pricked from the lazy finger of a maid. Her chariot is an empty hazelnut made by the joiner squirrel, all with the rhyme. Time out of mind, Ferris coachman. And in this state, she gallops! Led by night through the lovers' praise, and then they dream of love. On courtiers these who dream on curtsies straight, or lawyers' fingers who straight dream on fees, or ladies' lips who straight on kisses dream. Which often the angry mountain blisters blades because their breaths with sweet meats tainted are. Or sometimes she gallops over a courtier's nose and then dreams he of smelling out a suit. And sometimes comes she with a tight thick sail, tickling across his nose as he lies asleep, and then dreams he of another benefice. And sometimes she driveth o'er a soldier's neck, and then dreams he of cutting foreign throats, of breaches, ambuscados, Spanish blades, of helps, 5 Valenvichonon, drums in his ear at which he starts, and wakes, and being thus frighted, swears a prayer or two, and sleeps again. This is the very mad that plats the maids of horses in the night, and baits the elf-locks in foul sluggish hairs, which once untangled, much misfortune both. Now this is the hag, when maids lie on their backs, that presses them, and learns them first to bear, making them women of good carriage. This is she!
Peace! Peace, Mercutio, peace. Thou talkst of nothing.
True. I talk of dreams, which are the children of an idle brain, the god of nothing but vain fantasy, which is as thin of substance as air, and more inconstant than the wind, who woos even now the frozen bosom of the north, and being angered, puffs away from thence, turning his face to the dew-dropping south.
This wind you speak of, it blows us from ourselves. Supper is done and we shall come too late.
I fear too early, for my mind misgives. Some consequence yet hanging in the stars shall vigilantly begin his fearful day. With this night's revels, inspire the term of a despised life close in my breast, on some vile forfeit, untimely death.
Romeo!
Welcome, gentlemen! These are the toes of the God of love with you. Oh, my musicians, lean down tonight, come, musicians, play! what, 2 years ago?
Daughter!
What lady is that doth enrich the hand of yonder knight?
I know not, sir.
She doth teach the torches to burn bright. It seems she hangs upon the cheek of night like a rich jewel in Ethiop's ear. Beauty too rich for use, for earth too dear. So shows a snowy dove trooping with crows, as yonder lady o'er her fellow shows. The measure done, I will watch her place and stand, and, touching hers, make blessed my rude hand. Did my heart love till now? Forswear its sight, for I ne'er saw true beauty till this night.
This, by his voice, to be a Montague.
Fetch me my rapier.
What? Dares the slave to come hither, covered with the antic face to fleer and scorn at our solemnity? Now, by the stock and honor of my kin, to strike him dead I hold it not a sin.
I have seen the day that I have worn a mask and could tell whisper. 'Tis gone. I hung out. Wherefore storm you so?
Uncle, this is a Montague, our foe, a villain that is hither come in spite to scorn at our solemnity this night.
Young Romeo, is it?
'Tis he, that villain Romeo.
Content thee, gentle heart, let him alone. He bears him like a portly gentleman, and, to say truth, Verona brags of him to be a virtuous and well-governed youth. I would not for the wealth of all the town here at my house do him disparagement, an ill-beseeming semblance for a feast.
Fits when such a villain is a guest, I'll not endure him.
He shall be endured. What, goodman boy, I say he shall. Go to. Am I the master here, or you? Go to. You'll not endure him.
My uncle, 'tis a shame.
You are a saucy boy. Is it so indeed? This trick may chance to scale me. I know what. You must contrary. Marry, 'tis time. Set my heart. You are a princox. Go. Be quiet, or more light, more light. For shame I will make you quiet. What cheerily my heart.
This intrusion, now seeming sweet, shall convert to bitter as gall.
I profane with my unworthiest hand this holy shrine. The gentle sin is this. My lips, two blushing pilgrims, ready stand to smooth the rough touch of a tender kiss.
A good pilgrim, you do wrong your hand too much, which manly devotion shows in this. For saints have hands that pilgrims' hands do touch, and palm to palm is holy palmer's.
Have not saint lips and holy palmers too?
I, pilgrim, lips they must use in prayer.
Then, dear saint, let lips do what hands do. They pray. Grant thou thus faith turn to despair.
Saints do not move, though grant for prayer's sake.
And move not, for my prayer's effects I take. Thus, from my lips, by thine, my sin is purged.
And then have my lips as in that they have took.
Sin from thy lips, O trespass sweetly urged, give me my sin again.
Now Romeo is beloved and loves again, alike bewitched by the charm of looks. But to his foe supposed he must complain, and she still loves sweet bait from fearful hooks. Being held a foe, he may not have access to breathe such vows as lovers use to swear, and she as much in love, her means much less to meet her new beloved anywhere. But passion lends them power, time means to meet, tempering extremities with extreme sweet.
You kissed by the book.
Madam, your mother craves a word with you.
What is her mother?
Mother is the lady of the house, and a good lady, and a wise and a virtuous. I nursed her daughter. You talk to the doll. I tell you, he that can lay hold of her will have the chinks.
Is she a Capulet? Oh, dear account, my life is my foe's debt.
Away now, the sport is at the best.
Aye, so I fear, the more is my unrest.
Come hither, nurse. What is young gentleman?
I know not.
Go ask his name, if he be married. My grave is not to be my wedding bed.
His name is Romeo and a Montague, the only son of your great enemy.
My only love sprung from my only hate.
Juliet! Anon, come, let's away. Scream yourself on.
Can I go forward when my heart is here? Turn back, Dorothy, and find thy center out.
Romeo! My cousin Romeo!
He is wise, and all my life hath stolen him home to bed.
He ran this way and left that orchard wall. Call him, Mercutio.
Nay, I'll conjure too. Romeo! Humors, madman, passion, lover, appear thou in the likeness of a sigh. Speak but one rhyme and I am satisfied. Cry but I me, pronounce but love and dove. Speak to my gossip Venus one fair word, one nickname for her blind son and heir. Young Abraham Cupid, he the shot, so true, when King Effectual love. He heareth not. He stirreth not. He moveth not. The ape is dead, and I must conjure him. I conjure thee by Rosaline's bright eye, by her high forehead and scarlet lip, by her fine foot, straight leg, and quivering thigh, and the domain that there adjacent lie, that in thy likeness thou appear to us.
And if he hear thee, thou wilt anger him.
This cannot anger him. 'Twould anger him to raise a spirit in his mistress's circle. Some strange nature letting it there stand till she had laid it and conjured it down. That were some spite. My invocation is fair enough. In his mistress's name, I conjure only but to rise up him.
He hath hidden himself among the trees to be consorted with the humorous knight. Blind is his love and best befits the dark.
If love be blind, love cannot hit the mark. Now, will he sit under a medlar tree and wish his mistress for that kind of maid as Smithers? No. Call medlars. Oh, Romeo, the she were, oh, the she were an open arse and thou a puppered pair. Romeo, good night. I'll off to my truckle bed. This field bed is too cold for me to sleep. Come, shall we go?
Go then, for 'tis in vain to seek him here, which means not to be found.
He jested scars that never felt to wound. But soft, what light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun! Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, who is already sick and pale with grief, that thou, her maid, art far more fair than she. Be not her maid, since she is envious. Her best deliveries but sick and green, and none but fools do wear it. Cast it off! It is my lady. Oh, it is my love. Oh, that she knew she were. She speaks, yet she says nothing. What of that? Her eye discourses. I will answer it. Oh, I am too bold. 'Tis not to me she speaks. Two of the fair stars in all the heavens, having some business, do entreat her eyes to twinkle in their spheres till they return. What if her eyes were there, and they in her head? The brightness of her cheek would shame those stars as daylight doth the lamp. Her eye in heaven would through the airy region stream so bright that birds would sing and think it were not night. See how she leans her hand upon her cheek? Oh, that I were a glove upon that hand, and I might touch that cheek.
Ay me.
She speaks! Oh, speak again, bright angel. For thou art as glorious to the sight, being o'er my head, as is a winged messenger of heaven unto the white, upturned, wandering eyes of mortals who fall back to gaze on him when he bestrides the lazy puffing clouds and sails on the bosom of the air.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name. Or, if thou wilt not, be but sworn my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet.
Shall I hear more, or shall I speak at this?
'Tis but thy name that is my enemy. Thou art thyself, though not a Montague. What's Montague? It is nor hand, nor foot, nor arm, nor face, nor any other part belonging to a man. Oh, be some other name. What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other word would smell as sweet. So Romeo would, were he not Romeo called, retain that dear perfection which he owes without that title. Romeo, doff thy name, and for that name which is no part of thee, take all myself.
I take thee at thy word. Call me beloved, I will be new baptized. Henceforth I will never be Romeo.
What man art thou that dost bescreened at night so stumblest on my counsel?
By a name, I know not how to tell thee who I am. My name, dear saint, is hateful to myself because it is an enemy to thee. Had I it written, I would tear the word.
My ears have not yet drunk 100 words of that tongue's uttering, yet I know the sound. Art thou not Romeo and the Montague?
Neither, fair maiden, either thee dislike.
How camest thou hither? Tell me, and wherefore? The orchard walls are high and hard to climb, and the place death, considering who thou art, if any of my kinsmen find thee here.
With love like wings do I o'erperch these walls, for stony limits cannot hold love out. And what love can do, that dares love attempt. Therefore thy kinsmen are no let to me.
If they do see thee, they will murder thee.
Alack, there lies more peril in thine eyes than 20 of their swords. Look thou but sweet, and I am proof against their enmity.
I would not for the world they saw thee here.
Life's nights cloak to hide me from their eyes. And but thou love me, let them find me here. My life were better ended by their hate than death prorogued if wanting of thy love.
By whose direction found thou up this place?
By love. At first it taught me to inquire. He lent me counsel and I lent demise. I am no pilot, yet wert thou as far as the vast shore washed with the farthest sea? I would adventure for such merchandise.
Thou know'st the mask of night is on my face, else would a maiden blush but paint my cheek for that which thou hast heard me speak tonight. Fain would I dwell on form, fain deny what I have spoken, but farewell compliment, does not love me. I know thou wilt say aye, and I will take thy word. Yet if thou swearst, thou mayst prove false. But lovers' perjuries, they say, Jove laughs. O gentle Romeo, if thou dost love, pronounce it faithfully. Or, if thou thinkst I'm too quickly won, I'll frown and be perverse and say thee nay, so thou wilt woo. But else, not for the world. In truth, fair Montague, I am too fond, and therefore thou mayst think my behavior light. But trust me, gentlemen, I'll prove more true than those that have more cunning to be strange. I should have been more strange, I must confess, but that thou overheardst ere I was ware, my true love's passion. Therefore pardon me, and not impute this yielding to me life's love, which a dark night hath so discovered.
Lady, by yonder blessed moon I vow, that take with silver all these fruit tree tops.
Oh, swear not by the moon, the inconstant moon that monthly changes in her circle orb, lest as I love prove likewise variable.
What should I swear by?
Do not swear at all. Or, if thou wilt, swear by thy gracious self, which is the god of my idolatry, and I'll believe thee.
If my heart's dear love.
Well, do not swear. Although I joy in thee, I have no joy in this contract tonight. It is too rash, too unadvised, too sudden, too like the lightning which doth cease to be ere one can say it lightens. Sweet, good night. This bud of love by summer's ripening breath may prove a beauteous flower when next we meet. Good night, good night. As sweet repose and rest come to thy heart, is that within my breast.
Oh, wilt thou lay me so unsatisfied?
What satisfies
exchange of Thybalt's faithful vow for mine.
I gave thee mine before thou didst request it, and yet I put it word to give again.
What is that which you want? For what purpose, love?
But to be frank, and give it thee again. And yet I wish but for the thing I have. My bounty is as boundless as the sea. My love is deep. The more I give to thee, the more I have. For both are infinite.
Juliet!
Now here's the words of thing. Dear love, adieu. Anon, good nurse. Sweet Montague, be true. Stay with them. I will come again.
Blessed, blessed night! I'm afeard, being a knight. All this is but a dream, too flattering sweet to be substantial.
3 words, dear Romeo, and good night indeed. If that thy bent of love be honorable, thy purpose marriage, send me word tomorrow by one that I'll procure to come to thee, where in what time thou wilt perform the rite, and all my fortunes at thy foot I'll lay, and follow thee, my lord, throughout the world.
Madam!
I'm coming on! But if thou meanest not well, I do beseech thee.
Madam!
I come! To cease thy strife and leave me to my grief. Tomorrow will I send.
So thrive my soul.
1,000 times good night.
1,000 times the worse to want thy light. Love goes toward love like schoolboys from their books, but love from love toward school with heavy looks.
Romeo, oh, for a falconer's voice to lure this tassel gentle back again. Bondage is hoarse and may not speak aloud, else would I tear the cave where echo lies, and make her airy tongue more hoarse than mine, with repetition of my Romeo.
Oh, it is my soul that calls upon my name. How sweet, silver sweet sounds lovers' tongues by night, like softest music to attending ears.
Romeo,
My nice,
what o'clock tomorrow shall I send to thee?
by the hour of 9.
I will not fail. 'Tis 20 years till then. I forgot why I called thee back.
Then let me stand here till thou remember it.
I shall forget to have thee still stand there, remembering how I love thy company.
And I'll still stay, to have thee still forget, forgetting any other home but this.
'Tis almost morning. I would have thee gone, and yet no further than a wanton's bird that lets it hop a little from his hands, like a poor prisoner in his twisted gyves, and with the silken thread plucks it back again, so loving jealous of his liberty.
I would thy bird.
Sweet, so would I, yet I should kill thee with much cherishing. Good night. Good night. Parting is such sweet sorrow that I shall say good night till it be morrow.
Sleep dwell upon thine eyes, peace in thy breast. Would I were sleep in peace, so sweet to rest. Hence will I to my ghostly friar's close cell, for his help to crave and my dear hap to tell.
The gray-eyed morn smiles upon the frowning night, checkering the eastern clouds with streaks of light, and fleckled darkness like a drunkard reels from forth day's path, and Titan's fiery wheels. Now, ere the sun advances burning eye, the day to cheer and night's dank dew to dry, I must fill this osier cage of ours with baleful weeds and precious juicing flowers. The earth, that's nature's mother, is her tomb. What is her burying grave? That is her womb, and from her womb children of divers kind. We, sucking on her natural bosom, find many for many virtues excellent, none but for some, and yet all different. Oh, mickle is the powerful grace that lies within herbs, plants, stones, and their true qualities. For naught so vile that on the earth doth live, but to the earth some special good doth give. Nor aught so good, but strained from that fair use, revolts from true birth, stumbling on abuse. Virtue itself turns vice, being misapplied, and vice, sometime by action dignified. Within the infant rind of this weak flower, poison hath residence, and medicine power. For this, being smelt with that part, cheers each part, but being tasted, stays all senses with the heart. Two such opposed kings encamp them still, in men as well as herbs, grace eats up that plant.
Tomorrow, father!
Benedicite, what's early tongue so sweet saluted me? Ah, young son, to argues a distempered head so soon to bid good morrow to thy bed. Or if not so, then here I hit it right. Our Romeo hath not been in bed tonight.
That last is true. The sweeter rest was mine.
God pardon sin, wast thou with Rosaline?
With Rosaline, my guilty father, no! I forgot that name, and that name's woe.
Ah, that's my good son. But where hast thou been then?
I'll tell thee ere thou ask it me again. I've been feasting with mine enemy. Where on a son of one hath wounded me, that's by me wounded. Both are remedies within thy help and holy physic lies. I bear no hatred, blessed man, for lo, my intersection likewise steads my foe.
Be plain, good son, and homely in thy drift. Riddling confession finds but riddling shrift.
Then plainly know my heart's dear love is set on the fair daughter of rich Capulet. As mine are hers, so hers is set on mine. And also mine, say what thou must combine by holy marriage. Where and when and how we met, we wooed and in exchange of vows. I'll tell thee as we pass, but this I pray, that thou consent to marry us today.
Holy Saint Francis, what a change is here! Is Rosaline, who thou didst love, so dear, so soon forsaken? Young men's love then lies, not truly in their hearts, but in their eyes. Jesu Maria, what a deal of brine hath washed thy sallow cheeks, Rosaline. How much salt water thrown away in waste, to season love that other doth not taste. The sun, thy sighs from heaven, not yet clears. Thy old groans ring yet in my ancient ears. Lo, here upon thy cheek the stain doth sit of an old tear that is not washed off yet. If ever thou wast thyself, and these woes thine, thou and these woes were all for Rosaline. And art thou changed? Pronounce the sentence then. Women may fall when there's no strength in men.
Thou chidest me up for loving Rosaline.
For doting, not for loving, pupil mine.
And badest me bury love.
Not in a grave to lay one in, another out to have.
I pray thee, chide not. Her I love now doth grace for grace, and love for love allow. The other did not so.
Oh, she knew well thy love did read by rote that could not spell. But come, young waverer, come with me. In one respect I'll thy assistant be, for this alliance may so happy prove to turn your household's rancor to pure love.
Oh, let us hence. I stand on sudden haste.
Wisely and slow, they stumble that run fast.
Where the devil should this Romeo be? Came he not home tonight?
Not to his father's, I spoke with this man.
Why, that same pale, hard-hearted wench that Rosaline torments him so, he will surely run back.
Tybalt, the kinsman told Capulet, had sent a letter to thy father's home.
A challenge on my life.
Romeo will answer it.
Any man that can write may answer a letter.
Nay, he will answer the letter's master how he dares being dared.
Alas, poor Romeo, he is already dead. Stabbed with the white wench's black eye. Shot through the ear with a love song. The very pin of his heart cleft with the blind poor boy's butt shaft. And is he a man to encounter Tybalt?
Why? What is Tybalt?
Oh, more than the prince of cats. Oh, he is the courageous captain of compliments. He fights you as you sing prig song. Keeps time, distance, proportion. He breasts his minim breasts. And then 1, 2, and the third in your bosom. The very butcher of a silk button, a duelist. A duelist, a gentleman of the very first house of the first and second calls. Ah, the immortal Pissar, the Punta Reversa, the high.
Oh, here comes Romeo! Here comes Romeo!
Without his roe, like a dried herring. Oh, flesh, how art thou fishified? Signor Romeo, bonjour. This is a French salutation to your French salute. You gave us a counterfeit very last night.
Good morrow to you both. What counterfeit did I give you?
The slip, sir, the slip. Can you not conceive?
Pardon, cum Mercutio. My business was great, and in such a case as mine, a man may stray in courtesy.
That's as much to say a case such as yours constrains a man to bow in the hands.
Meaning to courtesy.
Thou hast kindly hit it.
A most courteous exposition.
Nay, I am the very pink of courtesy.
Oh, pink for flower.
Right.
Why then my punk is a wellflower.
Why is this not better now than groaning for love? Now art thou sociable. Now art thou Romeo. Now art thou what thou art, by art as well as nature. For this driveling love is like a great natural that runs lolling up and down, trying to hide his bubble in a hole Good Peter to hide her face, for her fans the fair face.
God ye good morrow, gentlemen.
God ye good e'en, fair gentlewoman.
Is it good evening?
'Tis no less, I tell you. For the body hand of the dial is now upon the prick of noon.
What a man are you? Out upon you.
One little woman that God hath made himself to all.
Well said by yourself tomorrow. Gentlemen, can any of you tell me where I may find the young Romeo?
Oh, I can tell you who young Romeo will be, but he'll be older when you have found him than when you have sought him. I am the youngest of that name for false boys.
You say well.
Yea, is the worst well? Very well took in faith, wisely, wisely.
If you be he, sir, I desire some confidence with you.
Oh, she will indict him to some supper.
Romeo, will you come to your father's, go to dinner thither?
I will follow you.
Farewell, ancient lady. Farewell, lady, lady, lady.
Pray you, sir, what saucy merchant was this so full of his ropery?
A gentleman nurse who wants to hear himself talking will speak more in a minute than he'll stand to in a month.
You speak anything against me, I'll take him down. He were lustier than he were, 20 such jacks. And if I cannot, I'll find those that shall. Scurvy knave, I'm none of his flirt gills and none of his schemes mates. And thou must stand by too and suffer every knave and use me at his pleasure.
I saw no man use you at his pleasure. If I had, my weapon should quickly have been out, I warrant you. I dare draw as soon as another man if I see occasion in a good quarrel. And claw my side.
Now, for God, I'm so vexed, every part about me quivers. Scurvy knave. Pray you, sir, a word. As I told you, my young lady did bid me inquire you out. What she bade me say, I'll keep to myself. But first, let me tell you, you should lead her into a fool's paradise, as they say. And it were a very gross kind of behavior, as they say. For the gentlewoman is young, and therefore, if you should deal double with her, truly it were an ill thing to be offered any gentlewoman, and very weak dealing.
Bid her devise who meets from the shrift this afternoon. There she shall at Friar Laurence's cell be shrived and married.
Oh,
Here's for thy pains.
oh, no, not a penny.
Go to, I say you shall.
No. This afternoon, sir, well, she shall be there.
Oh, wait, good nurse. Behind the abbey wall within this hour, my man shall be with thee and bring thee cords made like a tackled stair, which to the high-top gowns of my joy must be my concord in the secret night. Farewell, be trusty and not quit thy pains. Farewell, commend me to thy mistress.
1,000 times. Peter! Peter! Anon! Before it apace!
The clock struck 9 when I did send the nurse. In half an hour she promised to return. Perchance she cannot meet him. That's not so. Oh, she is lame. Love's herald should be thoughts which 10 times faster glide in the sun's beams, driving back shadows over lowering hills. Therefore do nimble-pinioned doves draw love, and therefore hath the wind-swift Cupid's wings. Now is the sun upon the hindmost hill of this day's journey, and from 9 till 12 is 3 long hours, yet she is not come. Had she affections and warm youthful blood, she would be as swift in motion as, above, my words would bandy her to my sweet love, and his to me. But old folks, many feigns they were dead, unwearied, slow, heavy, and pale as lead.
Oh!
What on earth is news? Has the remedy? Send my man away.
Peter! Stay at the gate!
Now, good, sweet nurse. Oh Lord, why look'st thou sad? No news be sad, yet tell the merry. If good thou shamest the music of sweet news by playing me with so sour a face.
Oh, I am a-weary. Give me leave a while. Why, how my bones ache. What a jaunt have I?
I would thou hadst my bones and I thy news. Nay, come, I pray thee, speak. Good nurse,
Say what haste! Can you not stay a while? Do you not see that I am out of breath?
How art thou out of breath when thou hast
on, yet they are past compare. He's not the flower of courtesy, but I'll warrant him gentle as a lamb. Blow thy ways, wench, serve God. What, have you dined at home?
No, all this I know before. When does he want marriage? What of that?
Oh, Lord, how my head aches. What a head have I. It beats as it would fall in 20 pieces. My back. No, the other side. No, my back, my back. Oh, through your heart for sending me about to catch my death with jaunting up and down.
Faith, I am sorry that thou art not well. Sweet, sweet, sweet nurse, tell me what says my love.
Your love says, like an honest gentleman, and a kind, and a courteous, and a handsome, and I warrant a virtuous. Where is your mother?
Where is my mother? What's she within? Where should she be? How oddly thou replies. True love says, like an honest gentleman, where is your mother?
God's lady dear, you are so hot. Mary, come up, I trow. Ah! Is this the poultice for my aching bones? Then forward to your messages yourself.
Here's such a coil. Come, what says Romeo?
Have you got leave to go to shrift today?
I have.
Then hie you hence to Friar Laurence cell. There stays a husband to make you a wife. Now comes the one blood up in your cheeks. They'll be in scarlet straight at any news. Hie you to the church, I must another way, to fetch a ladder by the which your love must climb a bird's nest soon when it is dark. I am the drudge and toil in your delight, and you shall bear the burden soon at night. Go, all to dinner. Hie you to the cell.
Hie to high fortune. Honest nurse, farewell.
So smile the heavens upon this holy act, that after hours, rich of sorrow, chide us not.
Amen, amen. Do thou but close our hands with holy words, then love, devouring death, do what he dare. It is enough that I may becolor mine.
These violent delights have violent ends, and in their triumph die, like fire and powder, which, as they kiss, consume. The sweetest honey is loathsome in its own deliciousness, and in the taste confounds the appetite. Therefore, love moderately. Long love doth so. Too swift arrives as tardy as too slow. Ah, here comes the lady toward my cell. Oh, so light a foot will ne'er wear out that everlasting flint. A lover may bestride the gossamers that idles in the wanton summer air, and yet doth fall so light as vanity.
Good evening to my ghostly confessor.
Romeo shall thank thee, daughter, for us both.
As much to him else is his thanks too much.
Come with me, and we will make short work, for by your leaves, you shall not stay alone till Holy Church incorporate two in one.
I pray thee, good Mercutio, let us retire, for the day is hot. Capulet is abroad, and if we meet, we shan't escape abroad. For now these hot days is the mad blood stirring.
Thou art like one of these fellows that, when he enters the confines of a tavern, claps me his sword upon the table and says, "Go, send me no need to leave." And, by the operation of the second cup, draws on the door when indeed there is no need.
Am I like such a fellow?
Come, thou art as hot a jack in thy mood as any man in Italy, and as soon moved to be moody, and as soon moody to be moved.
And if I were so apt to quarrel as thou art, any man should by the be simple of my life for an hour and a quarter.
Be simple, oh simple!
By my head, here come the Capulets.
By my heel, I care not.
Follow me close, for I shall speak to them.
Gentlemen, good eve. A word with them. And but one word with one of us. Couple it with something, make it a word and a blow.
She found me apt enough to that, sir, and you give me the plea.
Could you not take some occasion without giving? Mercutio, thou consortest Rome. Consul? What? Dost thou make us minstrels? And thou make minstrels of us who look to hear nothing but discord. Here's my fit stick. Here's that shall make you dance. Zounds, consort!
We talk to you in the public haunt of men. Either withdraw to some private place and reason coldly of your grievances, or else depart. Here all eyes lie on us.
Men's eyes were made to look, and let them gaze. I will not budge for no man's pleasure. Well, peace be with you, sir. Here comes my man. But I'll be hanged. Beware yours, good library. Mary, go before to field. He'll be your follower, your worship. In that sense, may you call him mad. Romeo, the love I bear thee can afford no better term than this. Thou art a villain!
Tybalt, the reason I to love thee doth much excuse the appetite rage to such a greeting. Villain, I am none. Therefore farewell. I see thou knowest me not.
Boy!
You shall not excuse the injuries thou hast done me. Therefore turn and draw. I protest I never injured thee, but love thee better than thou canst devise, until thou shalt know the reason of my love. And so, good Capulet, whose name I tender as dearly as my own, be satisfied.
Oh, calm, dishonorable, vile submission! And the staccato carries it away. Tybalt! You rat catcher. What do you want? And what wouldst thou have with me? Oh, good king of cats. Nothing but one of your 9 lives. I mean, cold at all. It is you shall use me hereafter. Dry beast the rest of the 8. Will you pluck your sword out of his pilcher by the ears? Make haste, lest mine be about thy ears and be out. Come, sir. Your persona.
Gentle Mercutio, put thy hands to your heart.
Where's my page? Go, villain, fetch a surgeon!
Curse, man, the hurt cannot be much.
No, it is not so deep as a well, nor so wide as a church door, but 'tis enough. 'Twill serve. Ask for me tomorrow, and you shall find me a great man. I'm peppered. A word for this world. A plague on both your houses! Zood, a dog, a rat, a mouse, a cat, to scratch a man to death. A braggart, a rogue who fights by the book of arithmetic. Why the devil came you between us? I was hurt under your arm.
I thought all for the best.
Help me into some house, Binful, or I shall faint. A plague on both your houses! They've made worms meat of me. I have it, and soundly too. Your houses!
This gentleman, the prince is near alive. My very friend hath got his mortal hurt in my behalf. My reputation stained with Tybalt's slander. Tybalt and Hour have been my kinsmen. Oh, Juliet, thy beauty made me effeminate, and in my temper soft and valor steel.
Romeo, friend Mercutio is dead. That gallant spirit hath aspired to the clouds which too untimely here did scorn the earth.
This day's my fate on more days done repent. This but begins the woes others but dead.
Here comes that furious Tybalt once again.
A life in triumph and Mercutio slain, away in heaven, respectability, and far-right fury be my conduct now. Now, Tybalt! I take the villain back again that late thou gavest me. For Mercutio's soul is a little above our heads. Stay for thine to keep in company. Either thou, or I, or both must go with him. Ah!
Where's the boy who has been sold to the hair? Down with the man!
This is the turn.
Romeo, away, be gone. The citizens are up, the temple slain. Stand not amazed. The prince will do thee death if thou art taken. Let's be gone, away!
Oh, my fortune's fool!
Why dost thou stay? Which way ran he that killed Mercutio? Tybalt, that murderer! Which way ran he? There lies that Tybalt. Up, sir, go with me. My court's name, the prince's name, obey.
Where are the vile beginners of this fray?
Oh, noble prince, I can discover all the unfortunate manage of this fatal brawl. There lies the man, slain by young Romeo. That's who thy kinsman brave Mercutio.
Tybalt! My cousin! Oh, my brother's child! Prince! Cousin! Husband, the blood is spilled of my dear kinsman! Princess, thou art true for blood of ours, shed blood of Montague! Cousin! Cousin!
Benvolio, who began this bloody fray?
Tybalt here slain, whom Romeo's hand did slay. And as he felt that Romeo turning blind, this is the truth, don't let Benvolio die.
He is a kinsman to the Montague. Affection makes him false, he speaks not true. Some 20 of them fought in this black strife, and of those 20 could kill but in one life. I beg for justice, which thou, prince, must give. Romeo slew Tybalt. Romeo must not live.
Romeo slew him. He slew Mercutio. Whom now the price of his dear blood doth owe?
Not Romeo! Prince, he was Mercutio's friend, whose fall concludes but what the law should end. The life of Tybalt!
And for that offense, immediately we do exile him hence. I have interest in your heart's proceeding. My blood for your rude brawls doth lie a-bleeding. But I'll immerse you with so strong a fine that you shall all repent the loss of mine.
My lord!
I will be deaf to pleading and excuses. Nor tears nor prayers shall purchase out abuses. Therefore use none. Let Romeo hence in haste, else he's found that hour is his last. Bear hence his body and attend our will. Mercy, but murders, pardoning those that kill.
Gallop apace, you fiery-footed steeds, toward Phoebus' lodging. Such a wagoner is Phaeton would whip you to the west and bring in cloudy night immediately. Spread thy close, curtained love-performing night, that runaways' eyes may wink and Romeo leap to these arms untalked of and unseen. Lovers can see to do their amorous rites by their own beauties, or, if love be blind, it best agrees with night. Come, civil knight, thou sober-suited matron all in black, and learn me how to lose a winning match played for a pair of stainless maidenhoods. Hood my unmanned blood bating in my cheeks with thy black mantle, till strange love grow bold, think true love acted, simple modesty. Come, knight, come, Romeo, come thou day and night, for thou wilt lie upon the wings of night, whiter than new snow upon a raven's back. Come, gentle knight, come, loving black-browed knight, give me my Romeo! And when I shall die, take him and cut him out in little stars, and he will make the face of heaven so fine that all the world will be in love with night, and pay no worship to the garish sun. Oh, I bought the mansion of a love and not yet possessed it, and though I'm sold, not yet enjoyed. Oh, so tedious is this day, as is the night before some festival, to a patient child that hath new robes and may not wear them.
some aqua by me. These griefs, these woes, these sorrows make me old. Shame come to Romeo.
Blistered be thy tongue for such a wish. He was not born to shame. Upon his brow shame is ashamed to sit. For 'tis a throne where honor may be crowned, sole monarch of the universal earth. Oh, would the beast who sighted chided him?
Will you speak well of him that killed your cousin?
Shall I speak ill of him that is my husband? Oh, poor my lord, what tongue shall smooth thy name when I, thy 3 hours' life, have mangled it? But wherefore, villain, didst thou kill my cousin? That villain cousin would have killed my husband. Back, foolish tears, back to your native spring. Your tributary drops belong to woe, which you mistaking offer up to joy. And my husband lives that Tybalt would have slain, and Tybalt said that would have slain my husband. Oh, this is comfort. Wherefore weep I then? Some word there was, worser than Tybalt's death that murdered me. I would forget it fain, but oh, it presses to my memory like damned guilty deeds to sinners' minds. Tybalt is dead, and Romeo,
Banish it.
banish it. That banish it, that one word banish it had slain 10,000 Tybalts. Tybalt's death was woe enough if it had ended there, or if sorrow delights in fellowship and needly would be raked with other griefs. Why called not when she said Tybalt's dead, thy father, or thy mother, nay, or both, which modern lamentations might have moved? But with the rearward following Tybalt's death, Romeo is banished. To speak that word, his father, mother, Tybalt, Romeo, Juliet, all slain, all dead. Romeo is banished. There is no end, no limit, measure, bound in that word's death. No words cannot move sound. No, 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 no. Where is my father and mother, nurse?
Weeping and wailing over Tybalt's corpse, will you go to them? I'll bring you thither.
I'll bathe his wounds with tears. Mine shall be spent when theirs are dry, for Romeo's banishment. Come, girls. Come, nurse. Out to my wedding bed. And death, not Romeo, take my maidenhead.
Hide it to yourself. I'll find Romeo to comfort you. I wot well where he is. Hark you, your Romeo will be here at night. All to him. He's hid at Laurence's cell.
Oh, my, give this ring to my true knight, and bid him come to take his last farewell.
Romeo! Come forth! Come forth, thou fearful man! Affliction is enamored of thy parts, and thou art wedded to calamity.
Father, what news? What is the prince's doom? What sore brave acquaintance at my hand that I yet know not?
Too familiar is my dear son with such sour company. I bring thee tidings of the prince's doom.
What less than doomsday is the prince's doom?
A gentler judgment vanished from his lips. Not body's death, but body's banishment.
Banishment? Be merciful, say death. For exile had more terrors with much more than death. Do not say banishment.
Hence from Verona art thou banished. Be patient, for the world is broad and wide.
There is no world without Verona walls, but purgatory, torture, hell itself. Hence banishment is banished from the world, and world's exile is death. Then banishment is death misturned. Calling death banishment, thou cut my head with the golden axe and smiles on the foot that murders me.
Oh, deadly sin! Oh, rude unfaithfulness. Thy fault, the law calls death. But the kind prince, taking thy part, hath rushed aside the law, and turned that black word death to banishment. This is dear mercy, and thou seest it not.
'Tis torture and not mercy. Heaven is here, where Juliet lives, and every cat and dog and little mouse, every unworthy thing that lived here in heaven may look on her, where Romeo may not. More validity, more honorable state, more courtship lives in carrion flies than Romeo. They may seize from the white wonder of dear Juliet's hand, and steal immortal blessings from her lips, who even in pure and vestal modesty still blush, thinking their own kisses sin. But Romeo may not. He is banished. Fly, they do this, but I from this must fly. They are free men, but I am banished. And sayest thou yet that exile is not death? Hast thou no poison mixed, no sharpener on knife, no sight of me of death? Thou never shalt meet, but banished to kill me. Banished! Oh, Friar, the damned use that word in hell. Howling attends it. And how hast thou the heart, being a divine, a ghostly confessor, a sin absolver, my friend professed to mangle me with the word banished?
How fond, madman! Hear me a little speak.
Or wilt thou speak again of banishment?
I'll give thee armor to keep off that word. Adversity's sweet milk, philosophy, to comfort thee, though thou art banished.
Yet banish it! Hang up philosophy! Unless philosophy can make a Juliet, displant a town, reverse a prince's doom. It helps not, it prevails not, talk no more.
Oh, then I see that madmen have no ears.
How should they when the wise men have no eyes?
Let me dispute with thee of thy estate.
Thou canst not speak, and thou that dost not feel! Wert thou as young as I, Juliet thy love, an hour but married, Tybalt murdering, doting like me, and like me vanishing, then might thou speak, then might thou tear thy hair, and fall upon the ground as I do now, taking the measure of an unmade grave.
Romeo, arise. Thou wilt be taken. Stand up. Stay a while, run to my study. God's will, what simpleness is this? I come. Whence come you? What's your will?
You shall know my errand. I come from Lady Juliet.
Welcome then.
Oh, holy friar, oh, tell me, holy friar, where's my lady's lord? Where's Romeo?
There, on the ground, with his own tears made drunk.
Oh, even in my mistress's case. Stand up, stand and you be a man. For Juliet's sake, for her sake, rise and stand. Why should you fall into so deep an O?
Speakest thou of Juliet? How is it with her? Does she not think me an old murderer? I stained the childhood of our joy with blood rude but little from her own. Where is she? And how doth she? What says my concealed lady to our cancelled love?
She says nothing, sir, but weeps and weeps, and now falls on her bed, and then starts up and on Tybalt calls, and then on Romeo cries, and then down falls again.
As if that name's shot from the deadly level of gun did murder her, as that name's cursed hand did murder her kinsman. Oh, tell me, friar, tell me, what part of his vile anatomy doth my name lodge? Tell me so I may sack the hateful man's head!
Hold thy desperate hand! God! What thou, man? Thy form cries out thou art, thy tears are womanish, thy wild acts denote the unreasonable fury of a beast. Unseemly woman in a seeming man, and ill-beseeming beast in seeming both. Thou hast amazed me. By my holy order, I thought thy disposition better tempered. Hast thou slain Tybalt? Wilt thou slay thyself, and slay thy lady that in thy life lives, by doing damned hate upon thyself? What? Rouse thee, man. My Juliet is alive, for whose dear sake thou once wast but lately dead. There art thou happy. Tybalt would kill me, but thou slewst Tybalt. There art thou happy. The law that threatened death becomes thy friend and turns it to exile. There art thou happy. A pack of blessings light upon thy back. Happiness courts thee in her best array, but like a misbehaved and sullen wench, thou pounced upon thy fortune and thy love. Take heed, for such die miserable. Go, get thee to thy lady, as was decreed. Ascend her chamber hence, and comfort her. But look that thou stay not till the watch be set, for then thou canst not pass to Mantua, where thou shalt live until we can find a time to blaze thy marriage, reconcile thy friends, beg pardon of the prince, and call thee back with 20,000 times more joy than thou wentst forth in lamentation. Go before, nurse, commend me to thy lady. Romeo is coming.
My lord, tell my lady you will come.
Do so, and bid my sweet prepare the child.
Yes, sir. The ring she bade me give you, sir. And you make haste, for it grows very late.
Oh, how well my comforters might bide by this.
Give me thy hand. 'Tis late. Farewell, good night.
But a joy past joy calls out on me. It were a grief so brief to part with thee. Farewell.
Things have fallen out so unlucky that We've had no time to move our daughter. Look you, she loved her kinsman Tybalt dearly.
These times of woe afford no time to woo. Madam, good night. Commend me to your daughter.
I will, and to know her mind early tomorrow. Tonight she is mute up to her heaviness.
But, Sir Paris, I will make a desperate tender of my child's love. I think she will be ruled in all respects by me. Nay, more, I doubt it not. Wife, go you to her ere you go to bed, acquaint her here with my son Paris's love, and bid her mark you me on Wednesday next. But soft, what day is this?
Monday, my lord.
Monday? Well, Wednesday is too soon then. A Thursday tell her she shall marry this noble earl.
My lord, I would that Thursday were tomorrow.
Well, thou be gone. It's not yet near day. It was the nightingale, and not the lark that hears the fearful hollow of thine ear. Nightly she sings on young pomegranate tree. Believe me, love, it was the nightingale.
It was the lark, the herald of the morn, new nightingale. Look, love, what envious streaks do late the severing clouds of yonder east. Night's candles are burnt out, and jocund day stands tiptoe on the misty mountaintops. I must be gone and live, stay and die.
Yonder is not daylight, I know it I. It is some meteor that the sun exhales to be this night a torch-bearer, and likely on my way to Mantua. Therefore stay yet, thou needst not to be gone.
Oh, let me be tame, let me be put to death. I am content, so thou wilt have it so. I'll say that yonder is not the morning's eye, but 'tis the pale reflect of Cynthia's brow. Nor it is not the larks whose notes do beat the vaulty heaven so high above our heads. I have more care to stay than will to go. Come, death, and welcome. Juliet wills it so. Oh, how is my soul? Let us talk, it is not day.
It is. Hie hence, be gone, away. It is the lark that sings so out of tune, straining harsh discords and unpleasing sharps. Some say the lark makes sweet division. This doth not so, for she divideth us. Some say the lark and loathed tongue change eyes. And I would they change voices too, since arm from arm that voice doth us affray, hunting the hens with huns up to the day. Oh, now be gone. More light and light it grows.
More light and light, more dark and dark our woes.
Madam,
Nurse,
your lady mother is coming to your chamber. The day is broke and weary. Look about.
then window, let day in and let life out.
Farewell, farewell. One kiss, and I'll descend.
Art thou gone so, love, lord, aye, husband, friend? I must hear from thee every day in the hour, for in a minute there are many days. Over this counter shall be much in years ere I again behold my Romeo.
Farewell. I will omit no opportunity that may convey my greetings, love, to thee.
How thinkst thou we shall ever meet again?
I doubt it not, but all these woes shall serve for sweet discourses in our time to come.
Oh God, I have an ill divining soul. Methinks I see thee now, thou art so low, is one dead, in the bottom of a tomb. Either my eyesight fails, or thou lookst pale.
Trust me, love, in my eyes so do you. Dry sorrow drinks our blood. Adieu. Adieu.
Oh, fortune! Fortune! All men call thee fickle. If thou art fickle, what dost thou with him that is renowned for faith? Be fickle, fortune, for then I hope thou wilt not keep him long. Send him good. Oh! Daughter! Daughter, are you up? Who's the cause? It is my lady mother. Is she not down so late or up so early? What unaccustomed cause procures her hither?
Why, how now, Juliet?
Madam, I am not well.
Evermore weeping for your cousin's death? What, thou wash him from his grave with tears? And if thou couldst not make him live, therefore have done. Much of grief, some of grief shows much of love, but too much of grief shows still some want of weight.
Yet let me weep for such a feeling lost.
So shall you feel the loss, but not the friend which you weep for.
Feelings of the lost cannot
choose but ever weep the friend, that weeps not so much for his death as the villain lives which slaughtered him.
What villain, madam?
That same villain Romeo.
Villain and he be many miles asunder. God pardon him. I do, with all my heart. And yet no man like he doth grieve my heart.
That is because the traitor murderer lives.
I, madam, from the reach of these my hands. Would none but I might avenge my cousin's death.
We will have vengeance for it, fear thou not. Then weep no more.
I shall send to one in Mantua, where that same banished renegade that lives shall give him such an unaccustomed dram that he shall soon keep Tybalt company. And then, I hope, thou wilt be satisfied.
Indeed, I never shall be satisfied with Romeo till I behold him. Dead is my poor heart for kinsman vexed.
Well, now I'll bring thee joyful tidings, sir.
Joy comes well in such an needy time. But are they, beseech your ladyship?
Well, well, thou hast a careful father, child, one who, to put thee from thy heaviness, hath sorted out a sudden day of joy that thou expects not, nor I looked not for.
Rather than happy time, what day is that?
Marry, my child, early Thursday next, the gallant young and noble gentleman, the County Paris, shall at St. Peter's Church happily make thee there a joyful bride.
Not by St. Peter's Church, and Peter too! He shall not make me there a joyful bride. I wonder at this haste that I must wed ere he that should be husband comes to woo. I pray you, tell my lord and father, madam, I will not marry yet, and when I do, I swear it shall be Romeo, whom you know I hate, rather than Paris. These are news indeed.
Here comes your father. Tell him so yourself and see how he takes it at your hand.
When the sun sets, the air doth drizzle too, but for the sunset of my brother's son, it rains down right. What how now, a conduit girl still in tears evermore showering? How now, wife? Have you delivered to her our decree?
Aye, but she'll have none, she gives you thanks. I would the fool were married to her grave.
Soft! Take me with you, wife. How will she none? Is she not proud? Does she not give us thanks? Does she not count her blessed, as unworthy as she is that we brought so worthy a gentleman to be her bride?
Not proud you have, but thankful that you have. Proud can I never be of what I hate, but thankful even for hate that is spent love.
How? 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 Talk logic, what is this? Proud, and I thank you not to get not proud. Mistress meaning you, thank me no thankings, nor proud me no proud, but feather your flying joys against Thursday next, to go with Paris, to St. Peter's Church, or I'll drag thee on a hurdle thither. Out, you grins and his carrion, out, you baggy, you tallow face.
Why, are you mad?
Good father, I beseech you on my knees, hear me with patience to speak a word.
Hang thee, young disobedient wretch! I tell thee what, get thee to church on Thursday, or never thereafter look me in the face.
Father,
speak not,
please.
reply not, do not answer me, my fingers itch. Why, we scarce thought us blessed that God has lent us but his only child, but knows that one is one too much, and we have a curse in having her. Out on her Hildy!
God in heaven bless her. You are to blame, my lord, to rate her so.
And why, my lady wisdom? Hold your tongue, good prudence. Smell with your gossips. God!
I speak of treason! May not we speak?
Peace, you mumbling fool! Out of your gossip over gravity's bowl, for here we need it not.
You are too hot.
God's bread, it makes me mad. Day, night, hour, time, play, work, alone, in company still. My care has been to have her matched. And now, having provided a gentleman of fair noble parentage, of phantom mane, youthful and nobly lined, stuffed, as they say, with honorable parts, proportioned as one's thoughts would wish a man. Thursday is near. Lay hand on heart, advise. And you be mine, I will give you to my friend. And you not? Hang, beg, sword, die in the streets, for by my soul, what is mine will never do thee good, and I'll never acknowledge thee. Trust to it, but think you, I'll not be forsworn.
Is there no pity sitting in the clouds that sees into the bottom of my grief? Oh, sweet my mother, cast me not away. Delay this marriage for a month, a week, or if you do not take the bridal bed, that dim monument where Tybalt lies.
Talk not to me, for I'll speak not a word. Do what thou wilt, for I have done with thee.
Oh, God! Oh, nurse! How shall it be prevented? My husband is on earth, my faith in heaven. How shall the fate return again to earth unless that
we do, it must be by stealth. And since the case so stands as now it doth, I think it best you married with the county. Oh, he's a lovely gentleman. Romeo's a dish clout to him. I think you're happy in this second match, for it excels you first.
Speaks thou from thy heart.
And from my soul too, else beshrew them both.
Amen. Well, thou hast comforted me marvelous much. Go in and tell my lady mother I am gone, having displeased my father to the holy Lord self, seek confession and to be absolved.
Right, I will. And this is wisely done.
Go, counselor! Thou in my bosom henceforth shall be twain. I'll to the friar to know his remedy. If all else fail, myself have power to die.
On Thursday, sir? The time is very short.
My father Capulet will have it so, and I am nothing slow to slap his haste.
You say you do not know the lady's mind. Uneven is the course. I like it not.
Immoderately she weeps for Tybalt's death, and therefore have I little talked of love, for Venus smiles not in a house of tears. Now, sir, her father counts it dangerous she do give her sorrow so much sway, and in his wisdom hastes our marriage, to stop the inundation of her tears, which, too much minded by herself alone, may be put from her by society. Now do you know the reason of this haste?
I would I knew not why it should be slowed. Oh, look, sir, here comes the lady toward my cell.
Happily met, my lady, and my wife.
That may be, sir, when I may be a wife.
What may be must be, love, on Thursday next.
What must be shall be.
That's a certain text.
Come you to make confession to this father?
To answer that, I should confess to you.
Do not deny to him that you love me.
I will confess to you that I love him.
So will you, I am sure, that you love me.
If I do so, it will be of more price being spoke behind your back than to your face.
Poor soul, thy face is much abused with tears.
The tears have got small victory by that, for it was bad enough before their spite.
Thou want'st more than tears without report.
That is no slander, sir, which is a truth. And what I spake it to my face.
Thy face is mine, and thou hast slandered it.
It may be so, for it is not mine own. Are you in leisure, holy father, now, or shall I come to you evening mass?
My leisure serves me, pensive daughter, now. My lord, we must entreat the time alone.
God shield I should disturb devotion. Juliet, on Thursday early, I will rouse. Until then, adieu, and keep this holy kiss.
Oh, shut the door! And when thou hast done so, come weep with me. Past hope, past cure, past help.
Oh, Juliet, I already know thy grief. I hear thou must, and nothing may prorogue it, on Thursday next be married to this county.
Oh, tell me not, Friar, thou hearest of this, unless thou tell me how I may prevent it. If in thy wisdom thou canst give no help, do thou call my resolution wise, and with this night I'll help it gladly.
God joined my heart and Romeo's. Thou our hands. And ere this hand by thee to Romeo's sealed shall be the label to another deed. My true heart with treacherous will turn to another. This shall slay them both.
Hold, daughter! I do spy a kind of hope which craves as desperate an execution as that is desperate which we would prevent. If, rather than to marry County Paris, thou hast the strength of will to slay thyself, then is it likely thou wilt undertake a thing like death, to chide away this shame that coaxed with death himself to escape from it. And if thou darest, I'll give thee remedy. Take thou this vial, being then in bed, and this distilled liquor drink thou off, when presently through all thy veins shall run a cold and drowsy humour, for no pulse shall keep its native progress, but surcease. No warmth, no breath shall testify thou livest. Each part, being deprived of supple government, shall stiff and stark and cold appear like death. And in this borrowed likeness of death, thou shalt continue 42 hours, and then awake as from a pleasant sleep. Now, when the bridegroom comes in the morning to rouse thee from thy bed, there art thou dead. Then, as the manner of our country is, in thy best robes, uncovered on the bier, thou shalt be borne to that same ancient vault, where all the kindred of the Capulets lie. In the meantime, against thou shalt awake. Shall Romeo, by my letters, know our drift, and hither shall he come, and he and I will watch thy waking, and that very night shall Romeo bear thee hence to Mantua, and this shall free thee from this present shame, if no inconstant toy, nor womanish fear abate thy valor in the acting it.
Give me, no, tell me not to fear.
Hold, daughter. Get thee gone. Be strong and prosperous in this resolve. I'll send a friar with speed to Mantua, with letters to thy lord.
Love, give me strength, and strength shall help afford. Farewell, dear father.
What? Is my daughter gone to Friar Laurence?
I pursue.
Well, he may chance to do some good on her.
See, where she comes from shrift with merry look.
Why, how now, my head strong? Where have you been gathered?
For I have learned me to repent the sin of disobedient opposition to you and your behests, and am enjoined by holy Laurence to fall prostrate here, to beg your pardon. Pardon, I beseech you, henceforward I am ever ruled by you.
Now, before God, this reverend holy friar, our whole city is much bound to him.
Nurse, will you go with me into my closet to help me sort such needful ornaments as you think fit to furnish me tomorrow?
No! Not till Thursday, there's time enough.
Go, nurse, go with her. We'll to church tomorrow.
We shall be short in our provisions this now near night.
Tush, go thou to Juliet. I will stir about, leave me alone. I'll play the housewife his wives.
Those attires are best, but the gentlemen, I pray, leave me to myself tonight, for I have need of many horizons to move the heavens to smile upon thy state, which, while the host is cross and full of sin.
What? Are you busy? Oh, need you my help?
No, madam. We have hold such necessaries as are behooveful for our state tomorrow. So please you, let me now be left alone, and let the nurse this night sit up with you, for I'm sure you had your hands full all in this so sudden business.
Good night. Get thee to bed and rest, for thou hast need.
Farewell! God knows when we shall meet again. I have a faint, cold fear thrills through my veins. It almost freezes out the heat of life. I'll call them back again to comfort me. Nurse! What should she do here? My dismal scene I needs must act alone. Come, Violet. What if this mixture do not work at all? Shall I be married then tomorrow morning? No, no. This shall prevent it. Lie thou there. What if this mixture, what if it be a poison, which the friar subtly hath ministered to have me dead? Lest in his marriage he should be dishonored because he married me before to Romeo. I fear it is, and yet methinks it should not, for he hath still been tried, a holy man. How if, when I am laid into the tomb, I wake before the time that Romeo come to redeem me? There's a fearful point. Shall I not then be stifled in the vault, to whose foul mouth no healthsome air breathes in, and there die strangled ere my Romeo comes? Or, if I live, is it not very like the horrible conceit of death and night, together with the terror of the place, as in a vault, an ancient receptacle,
Go to Juliet, help trim her up. I'll chat with Paris.
Mistress! But mistress! Juliet! Last I warned her. Why, lamb! Why, lady! Why, you slug a bed! Why, love! I say, madam, sweetheart! Why, cry! How sound are you asleep? Lady? Lady! Lady! Alas! Alas! Help! Help! My lady's dead! A well a day that ever I was born! A well a day! Oh, help! 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 What noise is here? A lamentable day!
What is the matter?
Look! Look how heavy day!
Oh, me. Oh, my child. My only life. Revive the copper. I will die with thee. Help! Help! Call help!
Help!
For shame! Bring Juliet forth, the Lord is come.
She's deceased! Dead! Deceased!
Let me see her. Out, alas. Oh, she is cold. Oh, death lays on her like an untimely frost upon the sweetest flower of all the field.
Mom, is the bride ready to go to church?
Ready to go, but never to return. Oh, son, the night before thy wedding, death hath laid with thy wife. There she lies, flower as she was deflowered by him. Oh, death is my son-in-law. Oh, death is my heir.
Have I thought long to see this morning's face? And doth it give me such a shine as this?
Cursed, unhappy, wretched, hateful day! Most miserable hour that e'er time saw, everlasting labor of its pilgrimage. But one, poor loving child, one thing to rejoice in solace in, and cruel death hath catched it from my sight.
Beguile! Divorce it! Wrong it! Spite it! Slay! Most detestable death, by thee beguiled! By cruel cruelty quite overthrown! Oh, love! Oh, life! Not life, but love and death.
Peace! Weep ye now, seeing she is advanced? Above the clouds, as high as heaven itself? Dry up your tears, and stick your rosemary on this fair course, and, as the custom is, and in her best array, bear her to church. For though some nature bids us all lament, yet nature's tears are reason's merriment. Sir, go you in, and madam, go with him, and go, Sir Paris. Everyone prepare to follow this fair course under her grave. The heavens do lower upon you for some ill. Move them no more by crossing their high will.
If I may trust the flattery truth asleep, my dreams presage some joyful news at hand. My bosom lord sits lightly in his throne, and all this day an unaccustomed spirit lifts me above the ground with cheerful thoughts. I dreamt my lady came and found me dead. Strange dream that does give a dead man leave to think and breathe just life with kisses in my lips that I revived and was an emperor. Ah me, how sweet is love itself possessed when but lush showers are so rich in joy. News from Verona! How now, Balthazar? Dost thou not bring me letter from the friar? How doth my lady? Is my father well? What fares my Juliet? That I ask again, for nothing can be ill if she be well.
She be well, and nothing can be ill. Her body sleeps in Capel's monument, and her immortal part with angels lives. I saw her laid low in her kindred's vault.
Is it e'en so? Then I defy you, stars! Thou knowest my launching! Get me ink and paper and hire post horses. I will hence tonight.
I do beseech you, sir, have patience. Your looks are pale and wild, and do import some misadventure.
Tush, thou art deceived! Leave me and do the thing I bid thee do. Hast thou no letter to me from the friar?
No, my good lord.
No matter. Get thee gone, and hire those horses. I will be with thee straight. Well, Juliet, I will lie with thee tonight. Let's see for means, O mischief, that are swift to enter the thoughts of desperate men. I do remember an apothecary, and hereabouts he dwells. To myself I said, and if a man did need a poison now, whose sale is present death in Mantua, here live the Kate of Wretch would sell at him. Oh, this same thought dip will run my need, and this same needy man must sell at me. Oh, as I do remember, this should be a house. Being holiday, the beggar's shop is shut. What ho, apothecary, what ho?
Who calls so loud?
Computer man, I see that thou art poor. Hold. There is 40 ducats. Let me have a dram of poison, such soon sweeting here that will disperse itself through all the veins that the life irritator may fall dead, and the trunk will be discharged of breath as violently as hasty powder fire doth hurry from the fatal cannon's womb.
Such mortal drugs I have but mantua laws, death to any who utters them.
The world is not thy friend, nor the world's law. The world affords no law to make thee rich, then be not poor, but break it, and take this.
My poverty, but not my will, consents.
I pay thy poverty and not thy will.
Put this in any liquid thing you will, and drink it all. If you have the strength of 20 men, we dispatch you straight.
Farewell. Thy food and get thyself in flesh. Come, cordial, and not poison. Go with me to Juliet's grave, for there must I use thee.
Holy Francis Friar, brother Paul! Ah, this must be the same as Friar John. Welcome from Mantua. What says Romeo, or if his mind be writ, give me his letter.
Going to find a barefoot brother out. One of our order to associate me. Here in the city visiting the sick and finding him, the searchers of the town suspected that we both were in a house where the infectious pestilence did reign. Sealed up the doors and would not let us forth, so that my speech to Mantua there was stayed.
Who bare my letter then to Romeo?
And could not send it. It is again, nor get a messenger to bring it thee. So fearful were they of infection.
Unhappy fortune! By my brotherhood, this letter was not nice, but full of charge, of dear import, and the neglecting it may do much danger. Friar John, go get me an iron crow and bring it straight into my cell.
Brother, go bring it thee.
Now must I to the monument alone. Within this 3 hours will fair Juliet awake. Poor living corpse, closed in a dead man's tomb.
Give me that torch, boy. Hence and stand aloof, yet put it out, for I will not be seen. Under yon yew trees lay yourself all along, holding thy ear close to the hollow ground, so shall no foot upon the churchyard tread. But thou shalt hear it, and whistle them to me, as to signal thou hearest something approach. Give me those flowers. Do as I bid thee, go.
I am almost afraid to stand alone here in the churchyard. Yet, I will adventure.
Sweet flower, with flowers thy bridal bed I strew, with which sweet water nightly I will do. Or wanting that, with tears distilled by moans, the obsequies that I for thee will keep nightly will be to strew thy grave and weep. The boy gives warning something doth approach. What cursed foot wanders his way tonight? To cross my obsequies and true love's right? I want with a torch. Muffle me, knight, a while.
Hold. Take this letter. Early in the morning, see thou deliver it to my lord and father. Give me the light.
This is that banished haughty Montague, who murdered my love's cousin, with which grief it is supposed the fair creature died. And now he is come to do some villainous shame to the dead bodies. Stop thine hallowed toil, vile Montague! Can vengeance be pursued further than death? Condemn it, sir. I do apprehend thee. Obey, and go with me, for thou must die! Ha!
I must indeed, and therefore came I hither. Good, gentle youth, tempt not a death for man.
Ha!
By heaven, I love thee better than myself, and I can hither armed against myself. Say not, begone limb, and hereafter say a madman mercy, bid thee run away.
I do defy thy combination, and apprehend thee. Forfeit here! Ha! Yeah! Yeah!
Wilt thou provoke me? Then have at thee, boy.
Oh Lord! They fight! I will go call the watch!
I am slain. If thou be merciful, open the tomb. Bring me Juliet.
In faith I will. Let me peruse this face. Oh, Mercutio's kinsman, noble Count Paris. What said my man when my betossed soul did not attend him as we rode? I think he told me Paris should have married Juliet. Oh, my love, my wife, death that has sucked the honey of thy breath hath had no power yet upon thy beauty. Thou art not conquered. Beauty's ensign yet is crimson in thy lips and in thy cheeks, and death's pale flag is not advanced there. Juliet, why art thou yet so fair? Shall I believe that unsubstantial death is amorous, and that the lean abhorred monster keeps thee here and dark the bee's paramour? For fear that I still will stay with thee, and never again depart from this dim night palace of dim night. Eyes, here will I remain, with worms that are thy chambermaids. Here I will set up my everlasting rest, and shake the yoke of inauspicious stars from this world-weary flesh. Eyes, look your last. Arms, take your last embrace. And lips, who you the doors of breath, sealed with a righteous kiss, a dateless bargain to engrossing death. Come, bitter conduct. Come, unsavory guide. Now at once, run on the dashing rocks thy seasick weary bark. Here's to my love. Oh, true apothecary, thy drugs are quick. Thus, with a kiss, I die.
Saint Francis be my speed. How oft tonight have my old feet stumbled at graves. Fear comes upon me. Oh, much do I fear some ill, unthrifty thing. Romeo! Oh. Oh. Hail. What? Who else? Paris, too, and steeped in blood. Ah, oh, what an unkind hour is guilty of this lamentable chance. The lady stirs.
Oh, comfortable friar, where is my lord? I do remember well where I should be, and there I am. Where is my Romeo?
Come, lady, I hear some noise. Come away from that nest of death, contagion, and unnatural sleep. A power greater than we can contradict hath thwarted our intents. Come, come, O lady. Thy husband in thy bosom there lies dead. Come. We must go, good Juliet. The watch is coming. Come. Go, good Juliet. I dare no longer stay.
Go! Get thee hence, for I will not away.
What's here? The cup closed in my true love's hand.
Poison, I see, hath been his timeless end. Oh, Cheryl, drunk all and left no friendly drug to help me after. I will kiss thy lips. Haply some poison in the pendulums make me die with restored. My lips are warm.
Wait, boy, wait.
Nay, noise. Then I'll be brief. Oh, happy dagger, this is thy sheath.
it be that is so shrieked abroad?
Oh, some people in the street cry Romeo, some Juliet, and some Paris, and I'll run with open outcry from our monument. What fear is this which startles in our ears?
Sovereign, here lies the Country Paris slain. And Romeo's dead. And Juliet's dead before, women and killed.
Search, seek, and know how this foul murder comes.
Here's a friar or sludge of Romeo's name, but the insurance of one that fit to open these dead men's tombs.
Oh, heaven! Oh, wife, look how our daughter bleeds.
Oh me, the sight of death is as a bell that brings my old age to a sepulchre. Come, Montague, for thou art early up to see thy son and heir now early down.
What further woe conspires against mine age?
Look and thou shalt see. Oh, thou untaught, what man is in this? To press before thy mother to a grave? Bring forth the parties of suspicion.
I will be brief, for my short date of breath is not so long as is a tedious tale. Romeo, there dead, was husband to that fair Juliet, and she, there dead, that Romeo's faithful wife. I married them.
Capulet, Montague! See what a scourge is laid upon your hate. That heaven finds means to kill your children with love. And I, for winking at your discords, too have lost a brace of kinsmen. All are punished. Sister Montague, give me your head. This is my daughter's jointure, for no more can I demand.
But I can give thee more, for I will raise her statue in pure gold, that whiles runified that name is known. There shall no figure at such a rate be set as that of true and faithful Juliet.
As rich shall Romeo's by his lady's lie, for sacrifices in our enmity.
A glooming peace this morning with it brings. The sun, for sorrow, will not show his head. Go hence to talk more of these sad things. Some shall be pardoned, and some punished. For never was a story of more woe than this of Juliet and her Romeo.